Before we get right into this video, I just want to tell y'all about the book that I have, the most recent ebook that I released back in March called Stories to Read While Sailing the Deep Blue Sea. Link in the description box below. Pick up my latest ebook, Stories to Read While Sailing the Deep Blue Sea. Such a long title, but I'm gonna try to make this announcement short about it. So it's a book, it's a short story book, so that's why it's an ebook, but it's a short story book with just a collection of short stories. 3 short stories that I written while I was in school, and I just thought, hey, let's make this book happen. So if you're a fan of short stories that range from the genre of drama, romance, and mystery, those are the 3 genres. If you are fans of that, then by all means check out the book. Or if you just want to support, or if you just want something to read, because reading is still important, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're watching the video right now. You might be listening to this ad on audio, but reading is still important. And you can start your reading journey by supporting me. Link in the description box below. Once again, stories to read while sailing the deep blue sea, by yours truly. All right, man. We moving along, man. We trudging along at this point, man. I'm getting tired, but I still have a bit more to say about just my overall thoughts. These are just overall thoughts. About the what he said, Katt Williams said. Some of the last bits of notes that I have, and then I'll just get into what I think about it and just everything else. After this big old yawn. My bad, y'all. Alright. I thought his upbringing, although it may have been heavily over embellished, was inspirational. What I love most about it are 2 things: the perseverance and faith he had in himself to push forward, and the fact that he doesn't look the part. Now, what I mean by that, I'm going to explain that last part first, just to get it over with. This man is exceptionally well read. I mean, he is just he was definitely a child protege. I mean, being accepted into college at 7 years old is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I read a lot as a kid, but I didn't read a total of, like, what he was at, like, about 3,000 books by the time he was 10 or so. Either or, like, I didn't read that much. I'm gonna keep it real, but even just outside of that, because you look at Katt Williams right now, people aren't gonna assume, oh, he's just this smart, he was this smart kid, or he was just this exceptional. No. And what I love most about it is it goes to show that, again, intelligence doesn't have a look. I know a lot of people, and I wear glasses because I need to. These are prescription glasses, just because they're different from the ones you've seen in other. I got 2 pairs of prescription glasses. All right, the other case, I thought it was close, but it's over here, and I don't want to get up on camera and just show y'all. Not that I'm not wearing pants, because I am wearing pants. You know what I'm saying? I got the whole get up going on. Still got the hoodie on. And I got the sweatpants on. I got my whole gym get up. Like, this is what I've been wearing since I got back from the gym this morning. And I've just been focused on this. I ate a bit, but, just been focused on this, the entire time. But, it just goes to show that this whole idea of intelligence doesn't have a look. I know a lot of people who try to look smart, right? So they start wearing glasses or whatever. I've had a female tell me one time, I guess she assumed that I was trying to look smart. I've been needing glasses since I was a kid. I was just not smart like Katt Williams as a kid, but I was too dumb to wear my glasses all the time. Had I wore my glasses since I first got them at, I want to say maybe like 10, 11 years old, my eyes probably would be fine right now. I probably wouldn't need glasses. You know what I'm saying? But because I didn't start, I've only wore glasses when I was in school instead of all the time. Um, it became something to where it's like, yeah, you can't, like, now you need glasses in your 30s, and now you need to walk around with your glasses on all the time. Now I don't mind it because actually, well, I like wearing glasses, but they're not. I definitely prefer not to wear glasses. Like, I like how I look without them, but I get money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, it's not like with my parents when they were picking out my pairs of glasses. I got my own money, so I can pick out my pairs of glasses. And I could, if I want to make it look stylish as I wanted to, I'm going to do that, But nonetheless, people try to do things to look smart and appear smart, because smart has a look. I think that's the dumbest thing ever, or one of the dumbest thing ever. But intelligence or smartness or whatever has a look. Katt Williams. When people look at Katt Williams, I rest assured, I highly doubt they're saying he looks like a smart man. No, they're probably not saying that. But Katt Williams is a very, very intelligent man. He was a very, very intelligent kid. So that's one aspect. Again, that's what I meant by what I loved about his story. But as I mentioned before, the perseverance and just him saying, I have so much faith within myself that I can get through these hard times as a 13-year-old who leaves the home at 13. Someone who, now again, I still feel as though there are some parts of his story that he is kind of over embellishing and leaving out. I find it hard to believe that even as a very astute 13-year-old that he was, that people would just would see him around town. Adults will see him around town. They would give him jobs and this, that, and the third, and not ask about who is taking care of him. I find it very hard. It may not been like, like Child Protective Services or whatever the case is, may not have been as, how can I say, involved in the life of children, or, within cases that they get, as it was when I was a kid and probably is now, when he was growing up. But nonetheless, I still find it weird that no adult said, hey, this kid, although very, very smart and very intelligent, we never see him with adults that claim to be his caregivers, or his caretakers, right? People taking care of him, right? And it's like, did he have a story that was so believable that these parents of his or these caretakers of his never had to show their face, because all he had to do was say, so and so is taking care of me, and people just believed it? Is if he was that intelligent to make up a lie so he could survive on his own when he moved out of his hometown in Ohio. Yeah, that stuff is, and again, I don't think we'll ever get the truth of that, to be honest with you, because I feel as though he wants to keep certain aspects private, because again, this was stuff I didn't know about Katt. I knew about him being somewhat of, like, I guess, a child protege, because I think I either read that somewhere or he brought it up before. But I didn't know his upbringing was that rough. I knew it was rough, but I didn't know it was as rough as he detailed it, both on Shannon Sharpe and Willie D's show. You know. By the way, the notes that I talked about, although people are saying, um, you know, they were Shannon Sharpe, you know, stuff he said on Shannon Sharpe's show. A number of the stuff he said on Willie D's show, not all of it, but a number of the stuff that he said there was literally the same things that he said on Shannon Sharpe's show. So I just condensed those notes together and made my statements to pretty much fit what I wanted to convey, you know. But watch both interviews, and again, do your due diligence. I like both fellas, but I'm not going to leave 50 billion links. That's the real reason as to why I'm not going to leave this person's response, that person's response. There's already enough links in the description box below, per se. And there's already enough links there because those are links relative to me. So they're going to be there. But if I were to include all these links of my links and then this video, this video, this video, this video, is a ton of videos. It's like, no. You can look it up yourself. You can look it up yourself. And half y'all don't even look in that description box anyway. Probably even not even half. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't doing all that work just for y'all to not look there. So anyways, you know, but for the off chance that people do look in the description box below, it's going to be my links. Links that directly, personally affect me. You know what I'm saying? Or have to do with me. But all in all, man, like, I enjoyed both interviews. I will say that the Willie D interview, that's not the one that's getting all the shine, obviously, because I feel as though more people who are, you know, into, you know, I guess, talking, you know, I don't want to say because Willie D isn't as popular as Shannon Sharpe, but I feel as though more people on the internet, you know, where these clips went viral, know Shannon Sharpe and either don't know Willie D or don't care about Willie D. But I will say, only Katt Williams, and I won't say only Katt Williams because I saw that Bruce did an interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I might watch that as well because I'm a big fan of Bruce as well. He's another comedian. But Katt Williams sit down with Shannon Sharpe was the first time I've ever watched Club Shay. Now, from that, I would say it's a good production, but I'm not Mr. Gossipy dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I watch you, it's because if I watch something like that, it's because you're saying something of substance. That's more so because I'm here to. Yeah, I did laugh. I laughed a lot, and me being a fan of comedy, I got what I wanted from said sit down. But I'm also a fan. I got laughs from the Willie D interview as well, but just a lot more. It was a lot more calmer and it was a lot more serious than the conversation he had with Shannon Sharpe. And I like both styles. And again, that interview was my first time watching a Willie D live podcast. So these two, not like the Katt Williams, not only made me more of a fan of him, to be honest with you, because yes, I brought up the stuff that I felt like he over embellished, or the stuff that he may have gotten wrong. But what he was saying, like, throughout the interview, man, like, just stuff about the truth and, you know, just him being who he was. And it's a reason why I labeled this the podcast episode the way that I did, because it's like he reminded me, minus him being a whole lot smarter than I was as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Probably was a whole lot smarter than me that I am now when he was in his 30s. You know what I'm saying? It's just I can hold that L. You know what I'm saying? I accept that reality. That Katt Williams is just a smarter man than me. So what? You know, I can accept that. But, you know, other than him having a higher IQ than me, I saw a lot of similarities between myself and him. Now, people mentioned, I had a friend of mine, shout out to my dude Dre, who pretty much brought up the fact that we're both Virgos, right? Someone else brought zodiac signs into it. Shout out to my girl Jalissa Daniels. She brought up the Aquarius signs that he has within his birth chart. I have an Aquarius sign in my birth chart as well. So that's another similarity. I'm not saying, ooh, I'm Katt Williams, and oh my God, I'm a big fan because we got the same zodiac sign. No, none of that. All I'm saying is, I don't think that the similarities that we have when it comes to the thought process that we have about speaking the truth and just being about that, being truthful individuals, being people who like to persevere, being people who were the black sheep of our family, and it caused rifts within our families. You know what I'm saying? Like, I brought up the whole Ricky Smiley situation, or Ricky Smiley in general, because those were times when I did bondage with my mom, like I stated before, and we weren't arguing, and she wasn't yelling, or whatever the case is. But it wasn't always like that, and it wasn't terrible, but me being the black sheep of the family, it's like, again, if you know. I'm not going to go over it in this video. This episode has gone on long enough anyways. Again, I'm not going to talk about the other two topics, but what I will do, again, with the other two topics, they're not necessarily time-sensitive ones, you know what I'm saying? So I feel comfortable. And this one might consider time-sensitive, but during last week, I'd already did the episode, and I already had my topics that I wanted to talk about. So you got this episode this week. And again, not on the Monday, being Martin Luther King Day, because again, didn't want to get in the recording. Well, I told you I've recorded it today, but I didn't want to just, rush out the day before and record this episode, because I can tell you right now, I started recording this episode today. I want to say around 4 o'clock today. It is now 6:06. By the time I got free time yesterday, was around 8 p.m., which means I would have finished around 10 p.m. had I started and stuff. Or probably later, because I would have been tired. You see me yawning now, I would have been yawning like crazy. It's 10 is usually when I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That's a little insight about me. But all in all, great interview. What was said was what was said. I'm still a big fan, or I'm still a fan of all the names that were mentioned. I mean, it is unfortunate that my favorite comedians can't get along, but I'm not naive. I don't believe that everybody of anything is going to get along. You know what I'm saying? And a utopia, that'd be awesome. But I understand that people are going to have their cliques. I understand that people are going to take issue with folks who straight up tell the truth, or straight up just who they are, And again, I see a lot of myself within Katt Williams, because I'm someone who, even within the field that I am, especially as a podcaster, people have their little cliques, or people just have their ideas of what it means to be someone within this specific field. And if you don't fit that mold, or you go on and you do your own thing, or they see you do something that they wish that they could do, jealousy and, ish talking and slanderous things start being said. And yeah, you have to call it out. As I stated, before, you can't call people out and they get upset when they respond to you calling them out. It's just, You can't do that. But anyways, I feel like I'm talking in circles at this point. So I'm going to end it right here. Thanks for listening to another long episode of the Ernest Thoughts Podcast with your host Ernest, or You Love Ernest. Check the links in the description box below. My links in the description box below. Again, this is a BFB exclusive. I call that a Bad for Business exclusive. And this is for the video watchers out there, but the anyone, audio or video watchers, you can still click on and go to my merch store, Bad for Business. It's on the Bonfire store, but it's under Bonfire, the website. But the same store where you can buy Ernest Thoughts Podcast merch is where you can find other clothing brand. You can find My 2 Cents Podcast merch, but just other designs that are not related to the podcast. You can find it there in the store, and then the store, the brand that I have for my clothing brand is called Bad for Business. But BFB exclusives are clothing items that are no longer being sold for, or limited edition items. You know what I'm saying? This is one that is no longer being sold. This hoodie that I'm wearing right now. But if you want, designs like it or whatever the case, let me know. And then I'll work on making certain designs and putting it out there. Again, it has to do with the space that I have in the store. The store is pretty much stocked and full with items that I have now that I'm selling right now, and designs I'm selling right now. If at any point in time I go look into the store, I can tell you right now, I'll probably look into the store tomorrow. When I'm editing this and uploading this, I'll look into the store tomorrow. See if I can clear out some space and stuff. But if not, I'm just going to, keep the designs up there, because I'm pretty good at what I do, with the designs and all that other stuff. And I've gotten better over the years. It's a shame Teespring ended up the way that it did, because some of my best designs were on the Bad for Business store on Teespring. But again, I can't associate myself with scammers. And Katt Williams is someone who doesn't want to associate himself with people who do wrong as well. I didn't just develop these moral, beliefs after watching Katt Williams' interview. I've gone on this podcast, and the whole Teespring thing is something I've been talked about on the podcast long ago, years ago when it first started. I told y'all about the situation. Other situations where I found myself where my morals were personally being, possibly be compromised. It was like, no, I'm not going to deal with this situation. I would rather lose out on money. I would rather lose out on whatever the case is, avoid the situation, and even if it pisses people off, I would rather do all of that than to compromise my own personal morals. Because what's the saying goes? Tell the truth, shame the devil, or shame a liar. Either or, that's what I'm about. And it was so refreshing to see someone who is famous and actually doing what they set out to do be about that as well. So shout out to you, Mr. Williams. If you ever get your eyes and ears on this podcast, would love to have you on too, but your choice. You're a very busy man, clearly, so keep doing your thing. Until next time, until next episode, stay black if you are black, stay beautiful. Black lives matter. LGBTQIA plus lives matter. Black women matter. Black men matter. And black children matter. And you matter. Once again, hit the links in the description box below. Support me. And let's keep on rocking. All right? Peace.